Hey there, and welcome back to the Virtual Cafe for another coffee convo about business finances. I'm your host, Kerry Zarb, and I am joined by Kim White. We invite you to join us at our table with your favourite brew. Let's pull up our chairs and get into today's episode. Come on, let's go. It's coffee time. Hey, Kim, I want to go shopping.
Yay! Oh, wait, Kerry. If we go shopping, is it a one-time thing, or is it something we're going to have to worry about paying a long time?
Well, it depends where we shop.
I don't know, Kerry. I think we need to make sure what we're buying and what we're buying it for.
Okay, so what if we went shopping for business toys?
Ooh, I'm in. Oh, wait.
Yay! Oh.
No, because, see, I learned something from you that now changed my whole world about saying yes to toys.
Do tell.
Well, you have a little tool that you shared with all of us in the community that's about subscriptions. And I'm going to confess, when I first got it, I was really excited because I had several places I saved money. And then now it's kind of ruined me, Kerry.
Oh.
Because every time I get a free trial offer, I'm like, no, because I don't want to forget to cancel it.
Gotcha. Yep.
How's that for something crazy that changed my world?
Well, Kim, I think you and I are very related in that space because I just can't press the button anymore. And I think I shared not so long ago, maybe in another conversation, that I did. I think it was just before Christmas. It was one of those apps where you download it and then it says you've got a free 7 days or whatever. It was early in the week. And I do all of my extracurricular activities come the weekend. And I thought to myself, oh, that sounds good in theory. And I pressed all the buttons and did all the things because it's through the App Store. They got my credit card. So you kind of just accidentally opting in very easily.
Easy, that's right, the easy button.
Yep, that's right. And about an hour later, this whoosh came over me and I went, I'm going to go in and fix that right now because by the weekend I probably will have forgotten that I even pressed that button. I won't go and play with the toy.
Yep.
And I'll start paying for something I'm not even going to use.
So, Kerry, we have a name we call that, you and I. Just saying.
You'll have to remind me, Kim.
It is definitely penny snatchers.
Oh, yes. Yes. And could go with a few penny pinching ideas as well.
Well, I think as entrepreneurs, like, let me just say this part. I think as entrepreneurs, we get sucked into, we need the latest and greatest. We need the biggest tools, we need the best, we need all the things, and we forget, because other people have great marketing, we forget that sometimes we're not there yet. Sometimes we don't really have the cash flow yet to be doing that. We get sucked in with the it's free, the free trial part, and then we end up, I'll confess, I had one that I had a free trial for that I paid for 4 years and didn't even realize. Because it was a small amount and it slipped under the radar. So I feel like this is a great topic to kick off, for this 2023 year of changing our finances, changing our trajectories.
Yep.
And penny snatchers have to go.
Yes.
So can I ask you a question, Kerry, to go back? Can we rewind? Can you give us... There you go. Will you just share quickly how you started this entire subscription tool that we all get to use? And by the way, if you're listening to this and you don't know what that is, don't forget to check the show notes because Kerry gives this away free. This is not something that is going to cost you later. It's not a free trial. It's something, I want you to tell the story where it came from, Kerry.
For sure, Kim. Thank you. I sat here one day, like anyone in business, and just had one of those moments in time. I actually wanted to buy a new toy and I wanted to really up level what I was doing, and I was looking for the right product and it came with a price tag. But I knew there was something within me going, wait a minute, how much are we already spending? And as much as I play with numbers and live in that space, I did not know that answer. I did not know how many toys I was playing for and how much they cost me. And I didn't know, was I still using them all? Had I signed up for things that I'd forgotten about? And I had to regroup. I had a moment in time to sit down and go, you know what, I'm going to get across this. I want to know what the number is. I was shocked. I was actually shocked how much all those recurring payments added up to. You know, you get a bit of a figure in your mind, but then when you actually like populate all the data and bring it together, it's a little bit confronting. And then I started to look at, okay, well, I want, you know, toy behind door number 1, but I'm already paying for all the toys behind doors number 2 through to 20. So which of those doors am I actually going to close, and where am I actually going to save some money so that I didn't feel so bad buying the new one? But also I knew the new one was going to deliver certain features that I was paying for in individual toys. So therefore it became that landscape I had to look at. Okay, well, this is going to cost X, but I'm going to eliminate Y and Z and bring it all together to press the button with confidence and know that I was making the right decision. And trust me, guys, it looked like, it looked so horrible. It was just, just a dump spreadsheet at the time, just for myself. And then when I finished, I actually sat there and went, oh, how many other people are doing the same thing and don't know what they're paying for? Because I found some, and I'm right across my numbers, but I still found some little gaps and little tricks and traps in there. And when I finished mine and I went, well, I want to go back to this, so I need to make it lightweight for myself, but how about everybody else? And because I actually saved above and beyond what I had intended to spend, there was this light bulb moment of how many people have these little tiny transactions coming through their bank accounts or on their credit cards that are actually, like you said, Kim, flying under the radar. And the companies don't tell you. Let's be...
They don't want to tell you.
No, we have to be real for a second and recognise that if you are subscribed to abc.com and you have not logged into their service in a year or 2 years or 3 years, they don't send you a notification. They don't say to you, hey, by the way, we're sitting over here, you haven't used us. None of them are measuring that way. They're just literally looking at their bank account and seeing all these funds roll in. They're not telling anyone. And I've actually found, Kim, since going through this process, and we've been playing in this space for coming up a year now.
So amazing.
I know that a lot of these companies aren't even putting out marketing to remind you. There are a lot of companies out there in the app space as well as the online space for tech toys that you'll never hear from again. You'll subscribe and maybe you'll get an email confirmation. Some of them don't even do that. And that's how it disappears. And that's how it grabs all those little pieces of money out of our accounts without us even recognising, because there's nothing to remind us.
So, Kerry, true story. I have an app that I paid for or pay monthly for. I want it, but it hasn't worked since October. I have emailed multiple times. I have done so I'll just say this, I am done paying for it with no response for sure. But it was crazy to think that that was a penny snatcher for me. Like, it was something that if it's not working, why am I keeping it? Why have I paid another several months worth of it? And your tool made me slow down and pay attention. And I think that's almost a one of the most common things with entrepreneurs. We run so fast, we don't pay attention to those little things, and they do take our money. They do take our time, because now we've got to go back and cancel them and do the things. But Kerry, I will say that when you started this for you, and I want everybody to understand that you didn't set out to create a tool for all of us. You were trying to make sure you could get a toy you wanted. But now it's turned into this big, and I'm going to call it kind of a movement of entrepreneurs are always talking about, where do I get more money? Like, where do I make more sales? Where do I market so that I get more? But slow your roll a minute and figure out where you're putting money, that you could use for cash flow in your business.
Yeah.
Instead of just hunting sales, also be responsible in this area. And I can say that out loud, Kerry, because I've been very not responsible. Like, I have spent time not doing the right things. And it cost me dearly, because the cash flow goes away. And the toys are great when you're having a conversation with another entrepreneur. Oh, well, I have this.
Yeah.
But if you're not using it, what in the world are you talking about it for? Like, why?
Yeah. Yeah. And Kim, I've been just as guilty. I definitely found gaps in, those spaces of things that, and it's not so much that I didn't know about them. It was just sometimes we hang on to them because we think, well, I'm going to come back to it, and 6 months can pass and you don't touch it. It can easily turn into 12 months that you're paying for something. And when they start, turning into that $20, $30, $40, $50 a month, do some maths, add that up. That's money out of your account. We all work really hard. And you're right, Kim, we're very fast-paced as entrepreneurs, and it's easy to put things on the back burner. Oh, I'll look at it next month. Oh, I'll get around to that. Oh, let me get past tax season, and then I'll look at it. And I'm not saying to anyone, don't do your taxes, because that is a huge priority. But if you say to yourself, oh, after I've done my taxes, I'm going to look at these things, actually do it. Like, I'm gonna call you all out, and we can all talk about it, but we actually have to make that move and take that step and start looking at it. And Kim, as you know, there's people in the community using simple subscriptions. That's still a work in progress. It doesn't have to be completed in one sitting.
Including me. I'm gonna say that too, Kerry, is I've already done it one whole round, and I've got two things I want to point out about it, because it is a tool that, again, it's free for anyone who wants it. So go to the show notes. The first thing was that you taught me was you can pause things. If you're not using a tool and you know you're not going to be using it because you've got other things that are higher priority, put it on pause. Don't spend the hundreds of dollars in between the time where you think you're going to use it and where you actually use it. And then the second thing, Kerry, is after you shared this, and that's exactly how this all came about, is you shared this with me, you shared this with a few other people, then we started talking about it and so on and so forth. But in what I'm going to call our tiny community, because there are billions of people in the world, and we are not billions, big. We've already saved so much money as a community. Do you have a new total? Because that is something that is amazing to me.
I have sticky notes from conversations from the club this week, and other people have reached out to me in the last couple of weeks, and I got a bit busy there for a while, so I've kind of had a few things on pause. But looking at my scoreboard, I feel like I've got a scoreboard in my office, because I've got the flip chart with the numbers. So the scoreboard says we're at 53,000. But I know just from those couple of sticky notes that I'll catch up on in the next few days, I think we're well over now, probably, I'm going to say 58, Kim.
Wow.
So we are heading very close to 60,000, and I'll be curious myself to actually sit down and do the next tally, and I'll share that on socials, because I do like to share the number. And this is we're in March, so we're actually 1 month shy of this tool going public, and we're nearly at $60,000. So I'm pretty excited.
So let me just clarify really quickly for everybody listening in case they don't understand. You had a toy you wanted, so you created a way to find out what all your subscriptions were costing you in your business. You applied that to a spreadsheet, but you put the formula in for everybody. You did the work behind the scenes for your own self. You started sharing that. Other people started using it, and the total so far that people have told you, not people who have gotten it and didn't come back and share, but the ones that have told you, it's already at 58,000 plus in savings just for that handful of people. That's a lot of money. Like, what would you do with $58,000 in your business? Like, everybody wants to talk about getting a business loan or making a big sale. What would you do with that much money in your business if you're paying attention to all of your subscriptions and being a penny paying attentioner? Is that a good word? Instead of letting the penny snatchers come in.
And Kim, I want to add to what you said there, because here's the reality of it when I speak English. The reality is that I might save, let's just throw a number out there, $1,000 in a year as a business owner. Just myself, if I was the one individual that grabs this free tool, goes through it, and I save $1,000 in the year. But next year I save another $1,000, and the next year I save another $1,000. So it sounds, quite tremendous. We're talking about this almost $60,000, and I'm using a very small example of $1,000. So imagine those that have multiple subscriptions, multiple recurring payments out there. They don't know where they're at. They get the opportunity to go through. You just got to fill in the data, guys. It's up to you to give this sheet the information and then tick your boxes, start cancelling and start saving money. But then continue to save money.
And continue to save money. I think that's the most eye-opening part of this, Kerry, is yes, that might be a small feeling amount when you first tick those boxes, but man, how many thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars have I personally saved in the future because I chose to invest the money differently?
Exactly.
I don't really want to invest $100 a month into someone else's business that I'm not even using the tool. I want to invest that money into what I'm actually going to use or actually going to go into our business and our team and, the things that we're doing. I think that's a big shift in our thinking.
Yeah. And Kim, I want to add 2 more things. Firstly, for anyone tuning in, this is not a commercial. I want to say that out loud because this tool is free. Yes, we're talking all about simple subscriptions and how you can save money and get in control of all those recurring payments, because I want more people to have it. I want more people to save money. And by the way, guys, business, personal, you can use it for both. It is focused towards business because a lot of us have business tools that we've lost track of, and like we've said, all the money's going out and we don't quite understand where our money went. However, you can put your personal things in there as well. And the second thing that I wanted to say, Kim, is no, it's left me. Completely left me.
Welcome to Simply Biz Beans.
The podcast all about losing your mind.
No, all about making your money work for you instead of it, being penny snatched. Sorry, Kerry, that you forgot.
I completely lost it because I got so thinking about the commercial, and I got to start writing these things down again as we're. This is what I normally do. That's what's happened. I've lost my pen. I've lost my sticky note.
Well, and speaking of commercials, Kerry, let me just say this. I don't think there's anything wrong with commercials. I think you're solving a problem. You're presenting a solution for someone. I just want to make sure everybody knows You did this based on you needing this. You have already found we needed this. And I suspect everyone listening needs this. So it's not a commercial as in, you know, you get your free set of steak knives and there's like 3 easy payments, and like, it's not a late night infomercial.
No.
It is truly something that your big old heart wants to help other people. And for the record, Kerry is like swamped. She doesn't have client space. This is something that I think is really important for everybody to understand. It's not a thing of, you know, come into this fly trap and do this. Once you get the spreadsheet from Kerry, it's yours. Like you don't, Kerry doesn't see the data. No one sees the data but you. And I think those are some of the things that if somebody's listening for the first time, they need to know that.
Yeah.
That where this tool came from, why it's important, and what it can do for them. And if that sounds like a commercial, Kerry, it's okay. Because it is something that we're being very transparent about the whole thing. Let me just tell you this little princess confession. I have saved a whole lot of money with this tool because I wasn't paying attention to things. And I feel like if you would have asked me, I would have told you, yes, I'm paying attention. And then when this tool came up, I just had another one hit me for an annual something that I missed the first time. And I feel like that's a very good example of no matter how we are responsible, and it doesn't matter if you have bazillions of dollars, do you want to not pay attention and have money taken out for thousands of dollars over years of time? Like, do you? Because I don't.
Nah. And Kim, here's a fun fact for you. So whoever, however many years ago, created the subscription model, the whole concept of that was purposely built for people to forget. Sadly, I think it's actually true. I'd have to Google it to be, confirming it. So anyone that's got Google, please look it up. But I'm very confident that I've read in multiple places. And when I say read, listen, guys, in multiple places, Kerry doesn't read, that this was actually...
That's true.
Well, it is true. I scan. I barely scan. But it was actually created I don't think it was a malicious creation. I don't think they actually created it with the intention to scam people. However, that's what it's turned into. It has turned into a very handy business tool to make really good money in your business because people sign up and forget and they don't go and get... But the tools are available, like just about everything that you sign up for. And when I say just about everything, hopefully everything that you sign up for actually delivers you something. May not be what they promised. However, you should be getting something for the money that you're signing up for. I'd love to actually look up, Kim, what are the stats on how many people actually use the things that they pay for. It would be staggering.
So we have a rule on our team here that if you need a tool, I 100% don't mind getting it. But the first month you don't use it, I absolutely don't want to pay for it. And that sounds like a really hard rule because, maybe it's $12 here and $30 here and all that. When you multiply that across a team, that is a lot of money a month that can be going out of your bank account that you can use to do something better with.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of new entrepreneurs who don't have anywhere to have these kind of conversations, Kerry. And I think that's an important part of what we are bringing to the table. We do not mind the messy behind the scenes things and being transparent about how we've dropped the ball at different times so that other people don't have to go through that. So I want to say thank you to you for sharing your toy because if you hadn't shared that, I still would be paying for things I'd forgotten about. I just really had forgotten about. So I appreciate it.
Thank you, Kim. And I remembered what I was going to say before.
Yay!
This all comes with a public service announcement. There is a word of warning with simple subscriptions, because once you start stepping through and listing all of those recurring payments, you start getting the shakes in your right hand on the mouse, and if you go to press a button on your phone, your thumbs start wobbling. Like, it's actually a real thing that once you've done this and you've gone through the process, you'll be like Kim and I, where you don't want to press the buttons, or you'll think twice, or you'll actually, step away from the computer before you kind of get, suck it into this new thing. It's real. It's real.
The struggle is real, Kerry. I just had an opportunity. Someone gave me something that was, I think it was actually like a 30-day trial or something. It wasn't even just a week. It was longer. And I giggled because I said no. And it was based on knowing the process would be hard to cancel it. I just didn't even want to go there. And one of the biggest ones is sometimes the TV channels. Everything is a new subscription now. We all fussed, and well, I shouldn't even say we all. We fussed, my husband and I. We fussed about the price of like cable TV or those things. And so we've gotten suckered in, and I'm telling you, this has been in the last couple of years, so it's not something old. They would say, you can have a free trial of this channel, but the show we wanted to watch was on that channel, and the only way we could watch it was to do that.
Yeah.
So we push the free trial button, and then we don't think about it anymore because it just automatically comes out. You just don't think about it. I'm pretty sure we were paying about 3 times what we were fussing about back then, cable TV wise. I'm pretty sure we were paying 3 times that on, and here's the thing, they were, $5 here, $10 here. And because they don't send you one lumped up bill of, look, do you see this $350 that you're spending? We were being very, very bad. And that's a personal story versus the business side. But this works for both. And I appreciate that part.
Well, Kim, before we wrap it up, we need to hit this whole annual subscription versus monthly subscriptions, because that can be a real pain point. Now, everyone's going to have a different opinion. Can actually bear a little controversy. Let's say that. It can get a little spicy.
Spicy warning.
Yes, warning. What say you, Kim? Annual or monthly?
Well, I'm going to say both. I am going to say that, in my opinion, most things should not be paid for annually, because on a lot of the toys out there, once you pay, they won't refund anything.
Yep.
So if you buy something and you pay the annual and then you find out it doesn't work, you don't like it, you found something better, whatever it is, you're locked in to a longer term. An annual to me is a setup for me to fail, because I have to make sure it's on my calendar that it's going to come up and I need to make a decision about it. Like, all of those things. Don't just say, oh yeah, I don't have to pay for that again for a year. Well, you probably will pay for it again because you won't remember. Like,
exactly. Yep.
So I say both, Kerry.
I agree, Kim. It is a calendar trap to pay annual. And I also agree with something else you said, and I want to tap into it just really like a little bit more. When we don't know a company, or we don't know what we're opting into, we can easily be deceived by the beautiful videos and the social media advertisement saying this is going to change your life. And you think you're going to get something that's going to be super simple, because that's how they sell everything. And then from there, then they waive the discount of 10 or 20% for paying annually. So they've suckered us into the commercial, they've suckered us in with the discount, all in aid of taking our money. And I'm sorry to sound so negative, guys, but unfortunately, like Kim said, that year goes around and we've forgotten. And then next minute, a larger chunk comes out of our bank account or off our credit card. And maybe it didn't turn out to be what we thought it was. So I like annual payments when it's a company that I've been with for quite a while. I'm invested. I'm invested in that tool. It has changed my life. It's changed my business. It's given me features and things that I need and I would not survive without. Then, only then will I go for the annual payment and hopefully grab a little bit of a discount along the way. But even then, when they roll around and you get that email notification that 100 and something or 200 and something, oh, I'm such a tight ass. I just sit here and go, oh, that feels yucky. Like I do. I can't help it. But it's few and far between, Kim. There's barely a handful of companies that I do that with, and it's on the calendar. It's all good, and they do send reminders, so you get the warning because they're good companies. That's the difference as well. But otherwise, as soon as I'm signing up for anything I'm not sure about, monthly all the way.
And is it really savings, Kerry? I guess I'll propose this question as we close out. Is it really savings if you end up not using the tool and you don't get a refund, prorated or anything? Is it really that you saved that 20%, or did you actually muck yourself around because you paid in advance? So I agree with you. If you don't trust the company, if you haven't done it for a while and know that tool is really something that's going to save you money in your business, because you know what, again, they have the ability to raise it the next time you have to pay.
True.
That's another part. Okay, I'm going to stop adding to this Kerry. Sorry. Penny snatchers have to go.
Exactly. And we'll skip the terms and conditions for today's episode because everyone should just run their eyes past that one, but we won't dive into that because, Kim, we've got to get out of here. We're going to go and maybe we'll grab a takeaway for the walk.
That would be awesome, Kerry.
Okay, let's go.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. Thanks for joining us in the virtual cafe. You can follow the show to be notified of future episodes, and if you're enjoying this podcast, we encourage you to leave a rating or personal review. Until next time, happy biz beans to you. No beans were harmed during the production of this podcast. Information contained in this podcast should be taken as general advice only, and your personal circumstances have not been taken into account. It is recommended that you seek financial advice from a professional who is licensed to do so. If you choose to act upon the general advice shared, you do so at your own